and welcome to a video tutorial on Google Earth and mapping your community's assets. So this video tutorial is going to assume that you already have Google Earth installed on your computer. If you do not install it, you may have to contact your IT department if you are working out, or if you're at work trying to install this program. So we are going to go ahead and launch Google Earth. This is alright if this pops up. All this is saying is that my screen resolution is smaller than what it's supposed to be at. Once Google Earth launches, you are going to be prompted with a startup tip. There'll be a new one every time. You can shut them off down here. So you just want to close out of that. And this is the Google Earth interface. You have a toolbar up here, and you have a search bar along the side. If this is your first time launching Google Earth, you may have to go to View, and you may have to turn on your toolbar. We'll just, for the sake of argument, shut both of them off, and then we will go to View, and you can click Toolbar. This is kind of why I'm showing it, because you have to do it twice to turn on your search bar. So, you have to turn on your search bar. So we're just going to go ahead and zoom into a location. I'm going to go to my hometown, and you just hit enter, and it'll slowly or quickly zoom in to street level, Staten Island, New York. If you do not want this on the screen, you can click this little X over here. These are your places. We'll go into that a little bit later. So we're just going to click out of that. And the first thing that we are going to do is zoom. Let's zoom into a location that we want. So we'll just zoom to street level, like really to street level now. And we'll just do this intersection right here. So we have that. And we want to now go to this places bar. And we want to right click my places. And we're going to go to add. And then we're going to go into folder. This is important. I guess as all of this will be. And we're just going to name this, points in a circle. So that's what this folder will be named. You click, you want this to be clicked OK. This is optional to have. A lot of this is grayed out. You can use a lot of this if you have the pro version of Google Earth. So we're just going to click OK, and we now have a folder. The next thing that we're going to do is right click into this folder. We're going to go to add, and then we're going to add a place mark. While this screen is popped open, you want to left click the icon that's blinking, and you can drag it around the screen. That's kind of neat, right? So you can position that right in the center of this intersection. We can name this place mark as center, sure. And then we want to change the icon itself. So we want to change that. You want to click this button. You want to change that to this circle. For this tutorial, we need to use this circle. So you're going to change it, and it automatically changes. And we want to, if your screen is really, really large, this is probably something to do with my screen's resolution, but if this ever happens, you may need to just play with this screen. So we need to drag this down a little bit. You want to get that double arrow, and you want to pull down, and then you want to pull back up, and then you can click OK. If you were to click cancel, this would go away. That isn't very good. So you can mess around with the opacity. There's a bunch of different stuff. But we want to keep it solid again for this tutorial. So we want to click OK, and then to ensure that this is saved, we want to click OK again. So now we have a circle in the middle of our screen, which is awesome. Now we want to go up to the toolbar, and we want to go to the Show Ruler. So we're going to show the ruler, and when you launch the ruler tool, this is not clicked, we definitely do want this clicked in there, or have a check mark. So mine's already set to miles, and that's what we'll be using today. However, you can use a whole, just a gaggle of measurement style. So we just want to keep it to miles. Click OK, and we want to set we want to take our cursor. We want to set it right into the center, or as near as the center as we can get to the center point. That's great, isn't it? So that's really close, and we're just going to pull in to zoom, pull into ourselves to zoom out of the screen. If we want to zoom in, like so, we want to push away from us. So we're going to pull into ourselves to zoom out. And if you need to drag the screen, this is where the mouse navigation comes into play. You want to left click, and then you want to drag. So you can drag any which way, but you have to make sure you left click. Right click, it's just not very fun. So you just want to keep on left clicking until you get your desired measurement. And we want about a mile out. Okay, and we can kind of see where the in the ruler tool itself it says heading, and it's telling us what type of degree it's at. So we can get this really close to 90. I mean, that's pretty darn close for myself. 90.03 degrees, and that's nearly a mile as well. So we want to just left click into the screen and then release very quickly, and we'll have our permanent or semi-permanent ruler. This is our radius. This is approximately 1 mile. If you need to drag across the screen, you just again left click. If you use the mouse roll that is pushing forward, or rather away from you, is zooming in, and again to zoom out you pull into yourself. So now we have our radius and we have a center point. This is really cool. So we have to leave this screen on, this ruler screen. You could probably save it. I've never really messed around with that, but and I won't for this tutorial. You want to go back to your places, and where your center point is, you want to right click that, and you want to go to properties. Now we want to go into, you can take off the name if you want. We do not need to have a name on center or on this point or any point that you create. And you want to go to style and color. And excuse me, if we still had the label on, we could color the label, set the scale, and set the opacity. But we're going to focus on the icon. Now with this icon, we want to set the scale fairly high. So we're just going to set it 20. 20 isn't big enough. We're trying to get this to be a diameter, or a circle 4-hour diameter. So it's kind of trial and error. 70 is closer. You get a nice little buffer around it. But let's go to 80. 80 is a little bit more close. And finally 90. 90 is about there. I'm happy with that. I'll just use this. Maybe not. I'm not very happy with it. I'll go to 85. Settle in between. And that's probably that's a lot better for myself. We have a darker line here, and that's Oop, wait. Oh, really? Oh well, 80. Okay, so we're just gonna click OK, and I guess it zoomed in a little bit. But you get the idea. You're gonna have a nice radius around here. Doesn't stick though. That's kind of a bummer. I wish I would have known that beforehand. You would have thought. I wonder if I could set the scale. Well, I have to stop this video now. It's kind of a shame. But